Hello everyone, am I audible? Please let me know. So on behalf of Intelletics, I welcome you all, the 10th standard ICSE students, for the third practice paper solving session in Biology 10th standard. Just because your board exams are commencing, all have already commenced, and tomorrow you have got the bio paper. So on behalf of Intelletics, we are conducting up this paper solving practice sessions on the channel. We have done it for all the subjects, and even in bio, this is the third session which is about to start. So if you have by chance missed out the first two sessions, I request you all to go to the playlist of the channel, go to the live section, go to the playlist, and you can watch the videos that you have missed. We shall be with you forever in future as well. If you take up the science stream, our channel will conduct many activities to help you out in your studies. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and also spread a word about this channel to all your friends so that all of you can study together, shine together. So here we begin with the third practice paper solving in biology. Question number 1. A pair of corresponding chromosomes of the same shape and size, but one from each parent, is dash. A. Autosomes. B. Sex chromosomes. C. Homologous chromosomes. D. Analogous chromosomes. So answer me for question number 1. A pair of chromosomes, corresponding chromosomes of the same shape and size, but one from each parent, is dash. So the correct answer for this question is homologous chromosomes. So a pair of corresponding chromosomes of the same shape and size, but one from each parent, is called as homologous chromosomes. Correct, Arushi? We go ahead with question number 1b. The factor that does not affect the rate of transpiration is dash. A. Intensity of light. B. Velocity of wind. C. Carbon dioxide. D. Oxygen. So which is a factor that does not affect the rate of transpiration? So what should be the answer for question number 1b? And the factor that does not affect the rate of transpiration is oxygen. Question number 1, sub-question C. Movement of molecules of a substance from their higher concentration to lower concentration when they are in direct contact. A. Diffusion. B. Endoosmosis. C. Imbibition. D. Active transport. So answer me for 1C. And the correct answer for this question is A. That is diffusion. So diffusion is the movement of the molecules of a substance from their higher concentration to lower concentration when they are in direct contact with each other. Question number 1, sub-question D. The complex molecule consisting of a DNA strand and a core of histones is dash. A. Centrosome. B. Nucleotide. C. Nucleosome, D. Chromosome. So the complex molecule consisting of a DNA strand and a core of histones. And the correct answer for this question is C. It's a nucleosome. Okay, it's a nucleosome. Friends, remember nucleosomes are small bead-like structures. Okay, the bead-like structure is a nucleosome. Now, as you know, the beads are connected by a string. Similarly, this nucleosome, the adjacent nucleosomes are connected with each other by means of the DNA strand. Whereas the main substance, the bulk of the nucleosome, which we call it as the core, is made up of a histone octamer. Octamer means 8 molecules of histones, which are certain specialized basic proteins, that is, proteins that are basic in nature. Question number 1, sub-question E. The solvent used to dissolve the chlorophyll pigment while testing a leaf for starch is dash. A. Soda lime. B. Carbolic acid. C. Methylated spirit. D. Water. And the correct answer for this question, that is the solvent which is used to dissolve the chlorophyll pigment while testing a leaf for starch, is methylated spirit. Going ahead with question number 2, sub-question A. During meiosis, dash daughter cells are formed. A. 6, B. 2, C. 8, D. 4. And the correct answer for this question will be, try to recollect, in mitosis how many daughter cells are formed, and in meiosis how many daughter cells are formed. So let me remind you, in mitosis 2 daughter cells are formed, whereas in meiosis 4 daughter cells are formed. Going to the next question, number 2b. Wooden doors swell up during the rainy season due to dash. A. Osmosis. B. Diffusion. C. Imbibition. D. Transpiration. So why do the wooden doors swell up during the rainy season? It's a very commonest question and quite an easier question, I shall say. So the answer to this question is C. Imbibition. So this process in which the plant cells basically absorb water is imbibition. Question number 2c. The semi-permeable membrane in a plant cell is the dash. A. Cell wall. B. Cell membrane. C. Tonoplast. D. None of the above. And the correct answer for this question will be B. Cell membrane. So the semi-permeable membrane in a plant cell is the cell membrane. Going ahead to the next question number 2D. Guttation takes place through dash. A. Stomata. B. Lenticels. C. Cuticle. D. Hydathodes. So what should be the answer for this question? Guttation takes place through dash. And the correct answer for this question is hydathodes. So guttation takes place through hydathodes. Correct answer Arushi Shah, Kavya J, Samana Deshpande, Jatinder Singh. Correct answer. Question number 2E. A plant with variegated leaves is dash. A. Coleus. B. Lotus. C. People. D. Mango. So answer me. A plant with variegated leaves is dash. And the correct answer for this question is Coleus. So Coleus is a plant with variegated leaves. Question number 3, sub-question A. The pressure exerted by the cell contents on the cell wall is dash. A. Turgor pressure. B. Partial pressure. C. Wall pressure. D. Osmotic pressure. Answer me for question number 3A. So the correct answer, the pressure exerted by the cell contents on the cell wall is called as Turgor pressure. Going ahead, question number 3, sub-question B. The cell component visible only during cell division is dash. A. Chromosome. B. Chromoplast. C. Chromatin. D. Centriole. And the correct answer for this question is the cell component which is visible only during cell division is chromosome. Okay, because when the cell is not in its dividing stage, what we see is chromatin network, and when the cell enters any cell division phase, so it is chromosome. Please keep this in mind. Going ahead to question number 3, sub-question C. Marine fish, when placed under tap water, bursts because of dash. A. Endoosmosis. B. Exoosmosis. C. Diffusion. D. Plasmolysis. Yes, correct answer, Babu Pan. Correct. करेक्ट है आप सब लोग काव्या समना आरुषि बिथि बाबू करेक्ट आंसर दे रहे वेरी गुड and the correct answer for this question is endoosmosis. See, marine fish, so it has high levels of salt and the solvent level is quite lesser inside its body. So tap water is not going to be as hypertonic as the sea water. So what happens is the concentration of water outside being more, it starts entering inside the body of the fish, and this is the process that's called as endoosmosis. Remember, the word endo means inside and the word exo means exit, outside. Okay. Next, question number 3, sub question D. The sites of dark reaction of photosynthesis is dash. A. Grana. B. Fret. C. Stroma. D. Stoma. So the site of dark reaction of photosynthesis. See, the correct answer for this question is stroma. Stroma is the site of dark reaction, whereas grana is the site of light reaction. Please remember, dark reactions दिन के उजाले में ही होते हैं. They do take place during the daytime itself, but they do not utilize light. That's the reason they are called as dark reactions. In other words, they are light independent reactions. So please make this very clear. Question number 3, sub-question E. The alternative forms of the same gene occupying the same position on homologous chromosomes is dash. A. Chromatids. B. Alleles. C. Autosomes. D. Centromeres. So what is the answer for this? The alternative forms of the same gene occupying the same position on homologous chromosomes. And the perfect answer for this is alleles. Friends, please remember at time alleles are also called as the allelomorphs. Okay, allelomorphs. That's also the other term used for alleles. All the students have got it right. Very good. Question number 4a. Explain the term osmosis. A. Movement of water from their lower concentration to their higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. B. Movement of solutes from their lower concentration to their higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. C. Movement of water from their higher concentration to their lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. D. Movement of water from their higher concentration to their lower concentration through a freely permeable membrane. So what should be the answer for question number 4a? And the correct answer for this question is C. So osmosis is the movement of water from its higher concentration to its lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Question number 4, sub-question B. Explain the term photolysis. A. Splitting of water molecules into hydrogen ions and oxygen in presence of light in the grana. B. Splitting of water molecules into hydrogen ions and oxygen in presence of light in the stroma. C. Splitting of water molecules into hydrogen ions and oxygen in the absence of light in grana. D. Splitting of water molecules into hydrogen ions and oxygen in the absence of light in stroma. And the correct answer for this question is A. See, photolysis. Lysis means breakdown. Photo is in presence of photons, that is sunlight. So it is the breaking down of a water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen, obviously which requires sunlight, and this takes place in the grana. Please remember, photolysis of water itself is at times called as a Hill's reaction just because it was discovered by a scientist called as Robert Hill. So that's the other name for photolysis of water. Going ahead to question number 4, sub question C. Explain the term law of segregation. A. The two members of a pair of factors join during the formation of gametes. B. The two members of a pair of factors separate during the formation of gametes. C. The two chromosomes of a pair of factors separate during the formation of gametes. D. The two members of a pair of factors separate during the process of germination. So the term law of segregation, segregate means separate. So the correct answer for this question is B. The law of segregation depicts that the two members of a pair of factors separate during the formation of gametes. Please remember, factors are nothing but genes. They were called as factors by Gregor Mendel. They were also called as particles earlier than being called as factors. But factors, particles refer to the same, that is genes or alleles. Going ahead with question number 4, sub question D. Explain the term guttation. A. The loss of water in the form of water droplets from the surface of the leaf. B. The loss of water in the form of water droplets through the stomata. C. The loss of water in the form of water vapor along the leaf margin. D. The loss of water in the form of water droplets along the leaf margin. And the correct answer for this question is D. The loss of water in the form of water droplets along the leaf margin is called as guttation. Okay, so going ahead with question number 4, sub question E. Explain the term active transport. A. Passage of water from its lower to higher concentration through a cell membrane without any expenditure of energy. B. Passage of ions from its lower to higher concentration